It has been wonderful to see you today. My name is Mohammed Sanucy from Sudan, particularly from Darfur. I would like to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, two questions only. And then from there, we can try to reconceptualize those questions. If I ask you by saying, can education be an effective tool for community empowerment? Can education, or can we transform and reshape and reconstruct our lives through education? Here's my story. In 2003, when my village Dugudusa, which is in western part of Sudan in Darfur, it has been attacked and it has been burned by Janjaweed militia. I think you all heard about Janjaweed. These are militia in Sudan. Government established them and supported them by weapons, specifically to commit genocide and killing against African people. In that day, I lost 3 of my cousins, 2 of my brothers, 1 of my granddad, and the rest of the family fled to the Kalma IDP camp, where it's an IDP camp in the western part of Sudan, in Niala particular. And my family still live there up to right now. Then in 2004, I was doing my linguistic literature at Nilen University. After I finished my studies, I went back home. Then I started helping society, particularly in education and social awareness. Then we made a great improvements in terms of social consciousness of our society, in terms of educating our people, where they come from and what is needed from them to do in order to reshape and recreate and reconstruct their life as a human being. So we made a lot of change, but in the following year, we established another organization, which is called Darfur Peace and Development Organization. We were mainly empowering the youth and we're trying to raise the level of consciousness in terms of social, economic, and political rights of citizens. Then in that organization, it has been banned and totally suspended from operating inside Darfur. Then what happened later in 2010, we have been detained by the government of Sudan, who is purely Arabic government in that country. Then we spent 7 months in a jail. 3 of my colleagues that we were together, 2 traveled to France right now. 1 went to Israel, and 1 went to Australia, and 1 went to Uganda, and 1 is in South Sudan right now. So I did not really want to leave my country or even my society at that year in 2013. But then the situation was not safe. Then I decided to travel. I came to South Sudan and I stayed for 2 years, where I was teaching English and community science. Then I saved some money in order to push me ahead to resume and continue my studies. Then later on, in 2013, the war broke out again in South Sudan. And everything was, you see, it started, I don't know what exactly to do at that time. Then I said, at home there is a war in Darfur. In South Sudan, where I am right now, there's a war again. So where must I go then? Then I decided to come to South Africa in 2013. But before I come here, I contacted some friends, specifically my friend Abdel Aziz, who is doing his PhD at UWC right now. And he's sitting right now there. So he helped me in the process of application. Then I applied and I had been accepted at UWC. where I'm doing my honors in developmental studies right now. Then, why do I came to South Africa? There is one most important thing that forced me to come to South Africa. I need to educate myself. I need to empower my capacities. Then, because South Africa is one of developmental states, a state which focuses on the process of building a human capacity, building a human capital. It's a state which gives the ownership of development to the society. It is a state which gives the ownership of development to the community. Then it also emphasizes always the involvement of society in the process of development. So for me, what motivated me is actually to come and study development, those reasons that I have said so far. So from that day, I'm doing my studies right now, but there are also some difficulties that we're always facing as refugees in South Africa. One of the difficulties that we face sometimes is at the process, opportunities are limited to get a job. That's true. And the other thing is also a place to live, because we are very limited in South Africa. And Darfur in particular, we are only 10 people, imagine less than 10 people surviving in Cape Town. But we managed to stick together. We managed to help each other in order to move forward. And therefore, what I want to say is, when you educate people, they are able to think for themselves. They are able to empower themselves. They are able to reshape their lives and the lives of other people. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, what I do believe is education. If we need to build a nation, the process of building a nation begins with education. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.